You want to hear something crazy? Up until recently, scientists didn't think that our brains could really change all that much into adulthood or as we aged. They always knew that infants and children and adolescents and teenagers could change their brains all the time, or their brains were always changing because they were growing and developing and learning new things and new skills. But they thought that once you became an adult, that was pretty much it, and you really couldn't change your brain. But thankfully, after a lot of research and rigorous scientific studies, scientists now know that we absolutely can change our brains well into adulthood. And this brain change is called neuroplasticity. And again, it's a fancy word for brain change. Scientists also realize that it takes specific actions and it takes specific criteria to change your brains later in adulthood. Because again, when you're younger and when you're experiencing new things and when you're learning and when you are going out in the world and trying different things, and when you're developing skills or learning a new language, your brain is constantly changing. But when you're an adult, it's a little bit trickier to drive brain change if you get into your daily routines or your daily habits, if you don't consciously try to change your brains or consciously try to learn something new. So it's important to understand the key ingredients for changing your brain as you enter into adulthood. And there's an acronym that helps you remember the ingredients for neuroplasticity or brain change. And that acronym is the word focus. Now, the F in focus stands for focus. So, neuroplasticity or brain change requires a significant amount of focus or paying attention to the task at hand. And the O stands for often. So, whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying to learn, or however you're trying to change your brain, you need to do it often. So, there's a saying in neuroscience that neurons, or brain cells, that fire together, wire together. And that simply means that the more you do something, the better you get at it. And the more you do something, the more brain connections that you make with respect to whatever it is you're doing. The C stands for challenge. So, you have to push yourself. You have to challenge your brain and your body if you want to generate neuroplasticity. You got to try new things. You got to try hard things. And the harder the things are, the more brain change that's going to occur. The U stands for urgency, or having a sense of purpose or a motivation to want to try to change your brain. And the S stands for sleep. Sleep is so important with respect to strengthening our brains, our hearts, our bodies, our minds, our souls, because sleep honestly is where the magic happens. Sleep is where the brain change occurs. Sleep is where we build new muscles. It's where we detoxify, where we flush out all the bad stuff out of our body, and where we repair our bodies and our muscles and our brains. Again, sleep is where neuroplasticity takes shape. So again, remember, if you want to change your brain into adulthood, you have to focus on brain change. F, focus. O, ongoing or often. C, challenge. U, urgency. And S, sleep.